We're going to do a gradient test, a material test in LightBurn using the Norton white tile method. But we're going to do it with a twist. So the videos I've seen, people are either using oil-based spray paint, white, or they're using titanium dioxide mixed with alcohol. Well, what's really important is whatever you use is the content of the titanium dioxide. So the paint, the spray paint, is somewhere between 10 and 20% according to the safety data sheet. Now, I'm sure this powdered titanium dioxide is much higher and probably works better. But we're going to try some house paint because when you use the spray paint, it's oil-based, so you have to clean your mess up after the fact with some acetone or something that'll get the paint off. And spraying the titanium dioxide mixed with the alcohol and the overspray and that kind of stuff can be a little messy too. I'm thinking if this latex paint works, we can just wash it off with some soap and water. And the titanium dioxide content in this particular paint is between 10 and 30%. So it should work. So that's the twist. We're going to use latex paint. And I'm sure somebody has done it before, but I haven't seen them do it. I've only seen the spray paint, which is oil-based, or either the titanium dioxide powder mixed with alcohol. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll jump off real quick, paint us up a piece of tile, and then we'll come back and set up the material test and go from there. Okay, folks, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to just clean this off a little bit with some 91% rubbing alcohol. I usually see people clean it off with acetone, but we're going to try this. And we're going to let it dry a little bit. And then we're just going to brush on some of our house paint with one of these cheap foam brushes. I'll be a little shocked if this works, but really there's no reason it shouldn't. It's got the proper content of titanium dioxide, and that's the major reason that you can mark on these with a laser. Now, if your power gets too high, it'll dig into the tile, but for surface marking that's permanent, the titanium dioxide is the key. All right, seems dry. I'm just going to put one coat in one direction. And maybe that's enough, we'll see. If we don't get any marks, then we'll try another one and maybe put a little more and go both directions. I'll put a link for these tiles down in the description, and you can pick some up if you like, or you can run down to your local hardware and get them pretty cheap. You may have to buy a bundle of them. All right, I think that's a good coat. I think everything's covered pretty good. So we'll let this dry, and we'll jump back in LightBurn, set up the test, and then hop in the laser and see what we get out of it. Hopefully it works. I'll be back, folks. Okay, we're back in LightBurn, and we're going to go up to Laser Tools and down to Material Test. And I always say I've done a lot of these material tests and posted them, but if they help somebody out, it's worth my time. So if you have version 2.0 or 2.0.02, your pop-up looks like this. If you have an earlier version, it looks a little different, but you'll get the same result. So We're not going to use a border, but we'll take a look at it. I'm going to turn the border off. And if you were cutting a material that you wanted to run your test and then you wanted to cut it out, you could put some cut settings here and it would cut it out. It'll be this size here. 63.5 by 63.5. That'll be your card size based upon 10 rows down, 10 rows across, and a size of 5 millimeters each on both boxes. So let's click OK. We're going to enable text, and I'm not sure what it'll take to write on this tile. I've never done one of these, so I'll just leave it here. I've got a 40-watt laser, speed of 50, and a max power of 40. And I'm going to leave it set for a line. So whatever you think will write on your tile, or if you've done some tests and you know, just put that in there. Click OK. Now for the edit material setting, we don't have to change the speed and power because it's being controlled here, but we do need to set this to a fill. So set to fill. The line interval pops up on the test as 0.2, but like I've said a few times, the way I understand it, the standard line interval for a diode laser is 0.1. So I'm going to change that to 0.1. And it just makes the lines a little closer. So you do whatever you know your laser is needs to be set for. We'll click OK. For speed, I'm going to leave it at 10 and cap it at 100 millimeters per second. And then for power, I'm going to let it start at 10 and just go to a max of 50. Like I said, that is not 50, that's 20. Numbers confuse me. So if you get too high, like I said, this is a 40-watt laser, and 50 will probably be cutting into the tile, certainly at a lower speed of 10 millimeters per second. So, but we'll see. We're just looking for the sweet spot where the marking is clear on the tile, and something you would want to use to make to put a photograph or a vector on the tile. So that's what we're looking for. All right, so down at the bottom we have Y center, X center. It's adjustable because I'm in absolute coordinates. If you were in user origin or current position, those would be grayed out. But what I typically do is I'll run a frame and then let it hit wherever it hits. This happens to be the center of my laser bed. And then I'll just move my material underneath it and set it where I want it, where it's going to work, and just go with that. So we will jump in the laser, set this up, run it, and see what we get. Okay, folks, I'll be right back. Okay, we're framed up. I'm just going to use exhaust, no air. We'll run this and see what we get. Okay, it looks like we got some good marking. I'm going to clean this off with some soap and water, and we'll see what we got. I'll be back. Okay, so here's what we got. On the left is before cleanup, and this is after cleanup with some soap and water, just some dish soap and water and a rag, and just cleaned off the paint. and then what I believe to be the best settings from this one. So we're just looking for a surface mark that will not scratch off. We don't want it to dig down into the tile like it did here, starting at about probably 30% power or so. So we don't want that. We just want a good surface mark. And this is just a twist on the original Norton white tile method, which full credit goes to Nikki Norton that introduced it probably 5 or 6 years ago. Don't quote me on that, but somewhere in there. And I'm sure there's other people that have tried it with latex paint, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a video where they did try it. And maybe the other processes work better, and I'll certainly try them. I'm sure you will too at some point. If you have used latex paint to do this, please let me know. And I just use one layer. It might be better with two. Don't know. I'm going to keep testing, and I'll keep sharing. I hope this was helpful to somebody. If it was, please like and subscribe. And feel free to share and comment. It's all appreciated. It helps the channel grow, and it keeps me out in the shop working, and I'll keep sharing. So please ask questions too. If you got questions, drop them in the comments about this video or anything I've got posted, or any general laser or light burn questions. I've only got a couple of years on this laser thing and light burn thing, but I've learned a little bit, and I'm willing to share it with you, so just ask away. So just check back often for new videos. You folks take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.